A very quick rundown of like what the questions will kind of entail. So the original pride flag colors were doing sort of sections.
Yeah. Do you have to compliment it?
Even if you're far apart, I don't like it.
Okay, you can start.
I like reclaiming the word slut. Like, as a bisexual person especially, I think that's kind of fun and important. Like, sex is not a bad thing. Sex is enjoyable and it's wonderful and it can bring you closer to people, even if it's not in a long-term monogamous relationship.
My relationship with like my identity is very interesting. Like I think I both want to be like, I don't want to be sexualized, but like I want to feel like attractive in a way.
We're laughing too much.
I'll naturally hold hands.
Yeah!
The most.
Yeah, I think that intimacy, especially in just a lot of queer friendships, is somewhat different from like my similar friendships with like straight or cis people. Being able to be myself is a form of being intimate, and I think that that is really powerful, especially with other people who are then able to be themselves around me.
At least with my friends and my community, everyone's so beautiful and loving, and seeing everyone be their true selves, like being so authentic and like happy with who they are, or trying to be happy with who they are, it just brings me a lot of joy, and I'm happy that I can be around people like that.
A lot of my friends are queer, and so I'm pretty constantly surrounded by the queer community.
I feel very prideful of myself for the first time in a long time, and I feel like I don't have to hide.
And every day that I get to wake up and get older and like wrinklier and weirder and fatter and hairier, like anything around aging, like I'm so excited and so grateful that I will hopefully get to live to 60, 70, 80, 90 and get to share love and affection with other people all throughout my life.
Like the emotional roller coaster is like numbness, and then numbness mixed with fear, and then the fear takes over, and then it gets interspersed with like joy. But most of the joy has come from meeting other trans people, and then eventually the fear goes away, and you just get the joy fills the numbness.
Wow.
I still remember the first time I took estrogen was like groundbreaking. I was so like excited, and it was like, oh, this is the next step for like the rest of my life, basically.
I remember as I started testosterone and hearing my voice change, constantly seeing new people react to my voice in different ways was always really fun. See them get taken aback, and start to feel it like rumble deep in my chest is a lovely new feeling that sort of developed.
Yeah, I feel like my life would not be anything the way it is if I wasn't queer, which brings me a lot of joy, to be honest. I wouldn't choose otherwise, and I think I wouldn't have any of the friends I have or be doing anything that I'm doing.
First year, we were all out having our first quack meeting at the campfire outside, and there were so many people there, and one of the older Grabelites said, "I can't believe there are this many people here. I can't believe that everyone felt safe enough to come out here in the open. We used to hide ourselves away in the basement, and being out here in the sunlight is making us feel so seen."
Today, actually, I was rereading a letter from my friend. In the letter, he talked about how he loves elderberries now, and like feeling so much joy that people just look at him and are they poisonous? And he took his own life on Tuesday, and that has been really hard, especially just reading his words again. It has been just remembering him in the sunlight has been really nice recently, and today especially has been nice to sort of remember the walk that we went on. Yeah, and just rereading his letter about how happy he was that he now loves elderberries and has been confusing strangers on it, which has been very, very silly, but very like him, so yeah.
Yeah, I have a very deep connection to water, specifically. Yeah, like when it rains, I love it when it rains. Snow, too. There's a lot more snow in Thunder Bay than there is down here in Waterloo. Yeah, also when, my mom passed away, I spread her ashes in Lake Superior.
As a kid, I was raised camping and going on hikes and watching Survivor on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. And so the outside is where I feel my mind actually has space to think.
Yeah, I feel like I'm dedicating myself to my various art forms like music and theater and that, because I seriously doubt I'm going to be the one to change the world, because it kind of sucks right now. But if I can do something that makes it suck at least a little bit less for a few minutes for someone, I'll take that for sure.
You have all these weird magical things that you're putting out in the world. How did that happen? You went from blah to, oh my gosh, you made something. And maybe a little bit of you is in that. And that little bit of you is impacted by all these different experiences and people you've interacted with. And that's gonna be there. And then there's something, and it's beautiful.
Serene. I love water.
The sun. Yeah. Being around the people that I love.
I'm an introvert, I would say, by my standards, and so being alone and just not talking to anyone for a few hours, that can help me feel serene.
It's kind of silly, but eating fruit has connects me a lot to my mom, especially. My mom and I, she would always prep fruit for me when I was younger. In a weird way, I connect fruit to my mom, and in doing so a little bit to womanhood. I feel weird kind of saying that, but you get the point.
I am very motivated by solving hard problems.
Passion for knowledge.
I like being visible and like a good example.
It used to be, you know, like the close influences in my life, like what my parents wanted was what drove me. I would do whatever it is that they wanted.
Basically, my mom's compromise was you can either go to youth group or you can go to Sunday church services. You just need to go to one. So I did continue to go to youth group. And in one session, my youth pastor basically was talking about the tough questions. And what it boiled down to was that whole idea of hate the sin, love the sinner. I sort of knew that was the stance that my church was taking, but it really, I just sort of felt my heart shatter.
Yes. But because I grew up in the small farming town I did, almost everyone I knew was some facet of religious, and that very much affected my perception of queer people growing up, because it was very much, this is objectively wrong. It made me take a very long time to realize that I could be queer, and an even longer time after that to stop being ashamed of it. It also affected others' treatments of me after I came out, because I guess, yeah, atheists themselves are suddenly turning on me because everyone else is saying, oh hey, that's wrong. And even if that's not strictly your belief, you grow up hearing that many people saying it that loud, it kind of seeps into your unconscious.
I think joy is a big driving factor. And joy can exist in pain, and it can exist in experiences of despair, because there is a freedom that's connected to joy, I think. But so I think the seeking of where we can find joy in those places where we're told that we'll find only struggle is really powerful, and looking for what those places of joy are, and then orienting ourselves toward that, and the uplifting of others and helping them find that same joy is something that does fill me with a lot of purpose and make me feel alive.
To a certain degree, I feel like that kind of still is true. But then I also think that just working towards goals that I now know are completely mine.
So that was a really difficult moment for me. But it's something that I've talked through with my mom since, and we haven't, she actually left that church and has been exploring other avenues to pursue her faith, which is awesome. And I am currently at Conrad Grebel, which is a Mennonite institution, and has been part of the healing process for that for sure.
Because I went from pretty much being essentially shunned for my last year of high school to basically just starting over, new town, new everything pretty much. And yeah, so figuring out very slowly, mind you, who I am, who I like being, has been improved my mental health by leaps and bounds.
crashing in the ocean.